Hey everybody, welcome along to the Monkey Barrel Comedy Chat Show. This is our fantastic show where we have comedians that are visiting Monkey Barrel Comedy to perform, and they come in here and we have a little chat. And this week we have a wonderful guest. It's Joe Sutherland. I came in with a dancey energy, but I like that better. I was like, wow, you've immediately commanded this room. It's real alpha energy.
I read Trump's book, you see.
Oh, okay.
And,
you heard of the deal?
Yeah, I'm cutting deals left, right, and centre.
Is it a good read? Is it a
Taught me everything I know. So I am officially bankrupt, but you know.
But somehow that's a positive thing based on that book. Yes. So Joe, you've done so much in comedy. You've had sellout tours, sellout runs at the Fringe. You're also in EastEnders at one point. How would you describe your comedy if anyone was coming in completely blank to this podcast? How would you kind of explain your vibe to them?
Sort of fast-paced, childish slut. Yeah, stick with that.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say it. Those words always go together. Everyone knows that. Everyone describes themselves. So you've done lots of great things in comedy. I know you've been like tour support for some of the stars of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
How was that?
Great. I mean, it feels like a lifetime ago. It was when I was sort of starting and went into it really like kind of scared, thinking like, oh, these crowds are going to be baying mobs.
Yeah.
But no, they are delicate teenagers.
Yeah. Just very, very excited.
They're very excited.
Very excited to see Sacha Velour lift up a hat and butterflies pop out or flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
Dead butterflies. It's great.
It was adorable, but also, you know, incredible to watch like those artists. And it was in the days of, so before the Queens were able to sell arenas in the way that they can now. So it was like just on the touring was just kind of becoming a big thing.
Yeah.
So
now they can all
an
tour
interesting
separately.
tipping point. Yeah.
But this was kind of them together in a
This
group.
was the first time actually that it was some of them doing individual UK tours. So they were all, they were all solo tours.
And then you can kind of get the vibe of like, oh, this is going to work. This is people are going to come and see all of these. Do you still watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
I do for my well, I say for my sins. It's the best made show on TV.
I loved it because it's the closest show I think to, because there's been lots of people who've tried to do reality TV shows about being a comedian, and I think RuPaul's Drag Race is maybe the closest thing to that, because you have like an episode where you learn how to like do a panel show, like chat. There's an episode where you learn how to do sketches. There's an episode where you learn how to roast people.
Yeah.
There's an episode where you learn how to go on a podcast and talk about yourself. Like each episode kind of puts together all the other pieces of being a comedian. Yeah. But also all the Drag Race stuff as well, which is great.
Yeah. It's not just a craft-based show. They are truly testing like mercurial charisma.
Yeah, I always love when you watch it and then someone come in, they're amazing, and then within 2 episodes, oh, they can't do any of the other stuff.
Oh God, I love it when the young skinny ones fall at the first hurdle. I'm like, this is tasty.
Yeah, oh my God. I stopped watching it eventually just because they kept doing so many series. I was like, this is starting to feel like a job now.
That's it. Every year I tell myself that. I'm like, no more. And then another one comes along and I'm like, okay.
It was when they ran the American one straight into the Canadian one that went straight into the first series of the British one that then went into the Australian one. And I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I've streamlined the versions that I watch.
Yeah.
So there are some that I don't bother with. And if you ever do want to get back into it though, go for the East Asian ones.
Really?
Philippines and Thailand are amazing.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna have to check that out. I just remember was it the British one where they just had a young guy in, and then like I think the big reveal at the end of that episode was just like he's like, oh, I've got a girlfriend, I'm straight, and I just like doing drag as an art form.
Oh yeah.
At the end of that first, and we were all just like, what? Is this allowed? I remember being very indignant about it. I was like, I don't think that's, I shouldn't just be allowed to walk in there and start putting stuff together. So an amazing thing that we do on this show, and God, I'm describing everything as amazing. But this is such a great podcast. Something that we do in this show to kind of get our guests relaxed in is we have an Instagram deep dive. We go in the social media time machine.
Oh, shit.
We're going to pull up an old post. We're going to have to explain it. So we're going to pop it up on our screen right now.
Okay.
So for people listening to the audio at home, How would you describe what we're seeing right now for the people listening the audio?
What you're seeing right there is my friend Joaquin and myself getting ready, or we've just finished getting ready to go to a Eurovision party. Oh my God, when? 2016.
2016, yeah.
And so my friend Rosanna was hosting a Eurovision screening party and I think it coincided with her birthday. And so she demanded that the theme was Cher. And Cher has a music video where she wears a newspaper wig. And I watched a YouTube tutorial on how to make a really detailed layered newspaper wig. And I kid you not, it took me 2 hours on Joaquin's bedroom floor. And their outfit is hastily improvised, but very effective. You know those glitter curtains?
Yeah.
We just wrapped that around their neck and then cut the tassels to like the kind of ankle length. And they just did this slick back hair and it was like just a sublime look. But then we turn up at the party and I was not the only gay boy in a newspaper wig. There were like 4 of us. So my friend Rosanna's flat was covered in newspaper shreds for weeks afterwards.
Oh, wow. And you got to be careful when you're making a wig like that. Like, okay, I can't accidentally have a very serious headline at the front.
I didn't even think of that.
7 dead in mine crash hanging down from your face. That's an amazing wig, though, for being made out of a newspaper.
You make your own skull cap first out of a carrier bag and sort of parcel tape. So you kind of build that around your head and then you layer up the newspaper on that skull cap.
Oh, wow. Do you have any memory about that 2016 Eurovision?
Oh, God, it was messy. I mean, I was still a drinker and... it was just really fun. Like, you're so great. It's so good to have a very clear theme to bring a lot of strangers together. Because then, if people have done a really good share or a really witty take on it,
yes,
you've got something to bounce off of.
Yeah. There's other people in the room who are like, that is great. We're retweeting that. That is a lot of fun, and I used to do that a lot as well back in Ireland with comedians there. So you'd be listening to the UK one, which used to be, it's Graham Norton, is it?
Yes.
Graham, I think it used to be Terry Wogan at one point. Yeah. But in Ireland, we have a guy called Marty Whelan. And Marty's just this old guy with the thickest mustache you've ever seen. And you would think he wouldn't be into it, and he kind of isn't. But it's just like having like your old dad going, "Oh, jeez, isn't that lovely? Look at that dancing there, and they're doing great. That's wonderful stuff. Oh, that was a lot of colour there. Now, I don't know if that flag represents anything, but if it does, fair play to them. Like very, very nice and sweet."
You know, I met the Finnish commentator of Eurovision at a Eurovision themed party on a gay cruise ship, and we were both wearing the pink bucket hat of the Ukrainian winners of 2 years ago. Yeah. And so I run over to be like, "Oh, hi, did you get yours at the actual event?" And he says, "Yes, I work there." And so I was like, "Oh my God, so you must know Graham." His face dropped. And he's like, "The rest of us do not really appreciate his tone." And just walked off.
Oh my God. I can't believe you dropped such hot Eurovision goss here. The rest of them hate Graham. I do love when it goes around to the different countries to give their points. And then like there's some of them are fun and then some of them are trying to be fun and it's just weird.
Oh God, yeah.
It'll just cut in some like, "Hi everybody, and I'm dressed like a traffic cone." And you're like, all right, just give us the points.
Yeah, they really like free play with an opening line.
Yeah.
That's clearly not on their teleprompter. It's like, no, you just gotta look fit and read the points.
Yeah.
Like the year Nigella did it for us.
Oh, it's perfection.
Yeah.
Everyone just went, "That's how it's done."
Yeah.
And then the Finnish commentator was like livid. We all don't appreciate Nigella's behavior behind the scenes. So we have a new section of the show that we're going to be premiering today, which is Cup Flipping, or we've got a better name for it, and that name has been come up with by our wonderful producer Claire, which is 2 comedians, 1 cup, in brackets each. So for people at home, we have 2 red cups here, and we have a question that is going to be asked of whoever is the last one to flip this cup. So we're going to do flip cups. So if you don't know how this is,
I've seen it on.
So you kind of just tilt it over the side of the table and you kind of do this and you try to get it to land. It's got to land cup up. So for people listening on audio, you're going to hear a lot of cups being flipped. This is a great time to swap over to the YouTube so you can watch this. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. So it's just like that up and try and flip it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. No, we're going to edit to this point here, and I'm going to say, just so you know, I flipped this cup on my second try, and it landed, and I got it, but the camera died. And don't you dare.
There's no proof.
Faces.
There's no
This
proof.
is 100% true. So we're starting again, and we just keep going until we get it, and I'm going to be livid. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh. So close.
God.
Okay, we've created a part of the show now where the guest becomes incredibly frustrated and hates me halfway through this show. Great. Oh my God. All right, congratulations. That was, everybody. That was 2 comedians, 1 cup each. Okay. So we have a question. Claire, would you like to tell us? Would you like to shout out the question?
You lost, didn't you?
You lost, so you're going to be asked this
You
question.
have to tell us, who it was from and who you regifted it to.
Oh, so the last gift you were gifted, who you were gifted it from, and who you gifted it to. An intense question. The questions are a little bit more intense. That's why the game.
Does it count if? No, it doesn't quite count if I just took a gift back because I wanted it.
Wasn't it? I am intrigued by that story.
I feel
I'm
like
intrigued.
I quite often do it for my parents, where I'm like, I buy them a book that I know I want to read. Because it's like, well, I'll send it to you, and then I know that in 6 months I'll be at your house, and I'll be like, are you done with it? Was it good? Yeah.
Good. Oh, this is collecting dust here. No, I'll just throw this out for you.
Yeah.
You tell them when you take it.
Yeah. But then with the last one that I bought for my dad for Christmas, I then took it from him about 2 months ago, read it on holiday, and then my dad's wife came to visit me, and I was very tempted to just give it to her to take back. But also slightly thinking like, it is her birthday on Monday. Oh, no, she'll know. She'll know.
It's like a weird Marie Kondo rule where it's just like, if you just see some, just hand them stuff you don't want anymore. Like, get that out of my house, please. It's a gift for you.
Otherwise,
I had a weird experience. Well, it wasn't re-gifted, but I remember I was working with somebody and he came in one day and I was like, oh, that's a cool t-shirt. And when it was the Christmas party where people were like giving Secret Santa away, he had me and he just gave me the t-shirt that I'd seen him wear before. And I was like, oh, cool. Throw this in the bin. And he was like, oh, I washed it though. And I was like, yeah, it's just weird to give me your clothing. Like, it's just a weird choice. I know you've worn this before. He could have lied.
What was the t-shirt?
Oh God, I think it was just like, there was the Joker or something. And I don't even think I liked it that much. I was just like, you know when you're making conversation, you go, oh, that's a really cool t-shirt. And then suddenly he's like, all right, I'm going to give him this t-shirt. He's obsessed with this t-shirt. It was very low stakes. And yet still I had to deal with it.
But he didn't then pursue and kind of continue to give you either Joker merchandise or his own clothing at every opportunity.
Every time I would see him after that, he would be like, oh, where's the t-shirt? I'm like, what am I going to wear the t-shirt all the time for you now so you can see it? But yeah, that went straight in the bin at home. I was like, what a weird thing to do. Also, I don't want to wear a Joker t-shirt. It's not a great look, you know? Oh, the Joker, he's my vibe. He's my, like, that's just wear a red flag everywhere. So yeah, is there anything else that you can think of that, or you caught somebody re-gifting one of your presents?
No, I don't think I've caught that. What I did, my grandma used to give, for I think 3 years in a row, she gave my brother the same Christmas card.
Oh, wow.
Because each year he would like open it, chuck it aside, and then leave her house without it. And so she'd store it away and think, we'll try again next year, see if he... And of course he didn't recall, but she'd told my mum, and so my mum would get so excited each time to be like, here it comes.
Just staring at the face of like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Try not to show that. Okay. We have another thing we do in the show where every time we have a guest, they leave questions for the next guest. So last week we had the wonderful Gareth Waugh in, and Gareth Waugh sent in a clip of 3 questions. But before we get into that, we've got another little game for you here, which is we're going to ask you, how long do you think it took Gareth to send in the questions after the podcast? So like we said to him in the podcast, like send us in those questions, and we want you to guess how long do you think it took him to send that clip into us. We're going to do like a leaderboard, because if you know comedians forgetful and take ages with things, we're going to see who's the most efficient, quick comedian, who takes maybe, we have in the past had people send in clips maybe a half an hour before we record the next episode. So between 30 minutes and 7 days, how long do you think it took Gareth Waugh to send in this clip? We can watch the clip first if you want to get a vibe of like where Gareth's at, and then we can see that. We can have a guess then.
Hi there, Joe. I don't think we've met before, so apologies if these questions end up a bit too personal. And hello, George. I don't know if anyone would say hello to you on these.
No one else said hello to me. Thank you, Gareth.
What a nice guy. And hi, anybody else in the room. Okay, question number 1. What is the dumbest way that you have ever hurt yourself? I'd love to know that. Question number 2. When was the last time you felt nostalgia? That's a bit of a thinker. Hopefully that's funny and not just sad. And question number 3. I heard that there's an evil test that one can do. And the way you test how evil a person is you go into your camera roll and you go to the screenshots and you look at how many screenshots are in your camera roll. I'd like to see both George and Joe's and see which one of you is the most evil. Have a great podcast, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gareth. So what else? Other information? We can tell you that Gareth is recently newly a parent. So that's,
okay.
Taking up a lot of his time. So how long do you think it would be?
I think that was this morning. It seemed quite sunny. He was in his living room. Mm-hmm. Today was a nice fresh day.
It was. It
where Scottish living rooms were bathed in beautiful light. Yeah. So I'm going to say it was today.
It was today. So
6.5 days.
6.5 days. Okay, Claire, can you confirm for us how long was it?
From after I texted him asking him to send it, he sent it within 24 minutes.
Oh, what a show off. Oh, disgusting, actually, if anything.
Yeah.
He only did that because he would have forgotten if he didn't do it at that moment.
This is it. I think comedians, I would like to say they fall into 2 camps, but actually I think they all contain multitudes. And those multitudes are either that mindset of, okay, I'll do it now and then it's done, or I'll do that in an hour, I'll do it tomorrow, and then
never gets done.
Yeah.
It's I think we all do that. Yeah, very much so.
That's it. Recently, all of my invoices have been immediate, but all of my slightly more in-depth stuff is a day after the deadline.
So this is going to be great fun as we build a leaderboard of these names and we go like, wow, okay, that one was 24 minutes, this was 22 days.
You're going to have nothing in the middle.
Okay, so Gareth's questions. Question number 1 was, what's the dumbest way you've ever hurt yourself?
Well, my first brother and I are both dyspraxic. He has it much worse than I do. But what comes with that is you just get so used to it that I don't even know how I've hurt myself. I just know I'm bruised.
Yeah.
Like I kind of, get changed at the gym and I'm like, well, that leg's purple. And I guess that was recent. Who knows?
Yeah. It's like your version of discovering tattoos on a person. You just go, oh, look at this. Oh, interesting. What was this leg up to?
Who's discovering tattoos on themselves?
No, when you meet someone else and they show you their new tattoo.
Oh, okay.
But it's for your own body.
But it's me.
Yeah.
It's me in the mirror.
Exciting.
Like, is that one new?
You're like, oh, what does this one mean?
But otherwise, there's a video. There's a video, or rather a quick cut montage video made by my friend Max, filming us cycling alongside the canal in London one summer, very easy breezy, like, oh, what a lovely afternoon.
Nothing bad's about to
and
happen.
maybe I sort of take one arm off and wave at the camera, and then it cuts to me at an A&E, like at a paramedics point at a little sort of viewing area for the Olympics. Getting some little butterfly stitches on my leg. But that is because in the London Olympic Park, and this was a problem, there was very loose gravel. And so a lot of people were spinning on their bikes when trying to turn a corner. And I do believe that's been repaired since.
Yes. There was a famous thing in Dublin where they put in the Lewis, which is like our little kind of train, above ground metro thing that goes around. And it's a tram, and the tram tracks were just specifically enough distant that a bike wheel could go in but would immediately get stuck. So tons of people, their front wheel would go in and they would just be ejected off of their bike.
God.
So they went back in and were like, oh, we widened them out a little bit, and it hasn't happened since. But yeah, really, what a stupid thing when building roads to not figure that out. Okay, that's pretty good as far as like dumbest way you've ever hurt yourself. Having a video of it that cuts directly to it, pretty damn good. So question number 2 was when was the last time you felt nostalgia? I feel like the world is full of nostalgia now. We're just being fed it all the time.
Yeah, it's everywhere. But then I guess I get it whenever I come here to Edinburgh. Memories of summer holidays coming up to Scotland, either with my dad or being sent to my Scottish granddad, Scottish grandparents. So actually it was yesterday taking a little walk around the grass market and that lovely brewery smell.
Yes.
When the wind is
that.
in the right direction.
So good.
It's so tasty.
When I first came here, I was like, is that sugar puffs? Do they make sugar puffs here? Because it smelled exactly like that. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things about the city. And then there's
it's a real Horlicks. It's a heavy Horlicks smell.
Yeah. There's a part of the city though where there's like oh yeah, we do. We have Horlicks down on the floor, everybody. I'm not gonna bring it up. We're not giving free branding to Horlicks. We try to make a deal with them. They wouldn't go for it. That's appropriate nostalgia. I guess a lot of comedians get nostalgia as well for the Edinburgh because they come up for the Fringe. And then like 10 years later, I mean, it's a type of nostalgia that gives you heartburn.
Yeah.
Makes you stressed out. But it still counts, I think.
No, that's where I feel lucky that I can, this town has a duality for me in that way. And actually what, like a real key memory, if I come out of the station on the sort of...
The lower side?
On the lower side, where I can look to my right to... Princes Street, what I always remember is the Easter holiday where Furbies were massive.
Yeah.
Or they were popular. They were regular sized.
Regular sized,
Furbies.
but incredibly.
And so my grandparents stayed in St Andrews, and nowhere was selling them in St Andrews, or like maybe the only place that was, the Argos had sold out of them.
Yeah.
And so then we went and looked all around Dundee, nowhere, all sold out.
Yeah.
And so then my grandma's ringing around, and I think she rang... is it Jenna's?
Yeah.
And
the
I managed to like reserve one or two. But like they had, you had in your mind, you were like, I would like a white one with a black tail. I don't want one with the sort of mohawk mane. But then you get there and they were like, you have no choice. Yeah. You'll take this one and you'll get out.
This is literally the only one in Scotland.
Yeah.
Take it and be grateful for it. There's kids in Dundee crying tonight.
Yeah.
They'd kill for a mohawk.
And then actually I did dearly love the one that I had because it did have a kind of tabby, slightly mongrel look to it. So I felt like I'd, adopted the unloved one at the shelter that was days away from being put down.
Oh, we're just about to take the batteries out of that one. I'll take it. I'll take it, please. Okay, now question number 3. This is the stressful one. How many screenshots are in your camera roll? Oh my God.
Oh, I left mine on the table.
This is going to be a nightmare.
So wait, this is the number of screenshots indicates your evil. I thought it was going to be the tone. Like, are you taking screenshots of other people's texts and tweets to obviously send to friends and be like, this best.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. So we're going to figure out how many. Okay. All right. Well, we'll make this a little bit more fun. We'll ask Ewan and Claire behind the camera. Well, we want you to guess out of the two of us, who do you think has more screenshots? You think Joe? Okay, what do you think, Ewan?
Joe.
You think Joe? Okay. Joe, how many screenshots do you have? I think if you scroll down to the bottom, it shows you a number.
I've got a number here.
got a number here?
I've got 303.
303. I've got 381.
Oh!
I've got 2,531.
Let me just announce how much I've got. 5,395.
I think I do clear outs.
I
though.
don't clear.
I don't.
I have 32,000 photos on my camera roll just because I've not deleted any.
How do you have space? Do you not
I
video
got-
anything?
Nah, photos. I mean,
What
George-
hell? I'm shocked. I didn't realize I was working with sociopaths in here. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god. Never send a message to them again. From now on, it's gonna be like, you want to talk to me? You call me. All right. You call me, and I'll be at a payphone, and you better not record it.
Wordle.
If it's Wordle, that's fine. All right, you're off the hook now. You're fine. You're fine. You're 3,000. We're not even gonna ask what Ewan's are, but it's big red flag, everybody. Incredibly big red flag. All right, I feel a lot better. I feel like we're fine. Like I thought this was gonna be.
I thought that was high, and
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, even if you're clearing them out, I don't think you're breaking 1,000 with that number. Maybe like we're three times that amount is
I think I have to make space quite often. It's because I video a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so you always end up having to make space. And
yeah.
then like should an audition come in? And there's so many times when I've like done 2 takes and it's for something completely inane, like anxious personal assistant. And you're like, just say gay. But but so it's like, I've just got to do a take that's like, oh, here's the coffee, and then walk out.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 takes and the phone is like, you have 0 memory left. And it's because I've taken 5-second videos of cats, 4-second videos of a concert, 3-second videos.
And you film
of...
them all in 4K.
Yeah,
120 hertz.
Because I'm
Like,
constantly
okay.
thinking like this will make an amazing montage. I don't know what for. Maybe my funeral is.
Yeah. Just saying to people, just go to my screenshots and take whatever you wanted. That's the real me. Amazing. Okay, that was great. Wow, I can't believe that question worked out so great for us and so awful for you too. That's perfect. Thank you so much for coming in today and answering these questions. I feel like we found out a lot more about you. Thank you to Gareth Wall, of course, for sending in those questions.
Thank you,
They were
Gareth.
great. So if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching the stream, people, where can they find your clips online? Where can they follow you on social media? And do you have any shows or things coming up you'd like to let people know?
Go to Instagram. That's the easiest one. Type in either Joe Sutherland or Jomodity, Jomodity. Stupid, but and then keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, maybe a tour is on the way, and it'll all be there and various other platforms on my website.
Amazing. Cool. Well, please do that. Please follow Joe. If you want to come see comedy at Monkey Barrel Comedy, I'm hosting the 5 p.m. show every Saturday with wonderful guests. Also, wonderful comedians coming and visiting, doing their tour shows every week. If you want to see me during the week, I do twitch.tv/Fox Comedy every Sunday to Thursday. It's a lot of silly nonsense. A lot of it is Ewan popping up and people like him, but they still hate me. So, but not when they find out about this amount of screenshots, they won't. I'll tell you that right
Can
now.
I just say, my first screenshot is from 2016. 2016.
I'm
My
about to
first
stop
ever
the
iPhone.
podcast.
My first ever iPhone was 2016.
Yeah.
And I've not deleted a single one since.
Okay, all right.
Just to, clear my image.
So close to the end of the podcast. Like, sorry, can I
Okay, you
just
can
say
finish now.
Mine is also from 2016, and I've never deleted any, so you're still twice as bad as me, though.
something? Okay.
I think I'm really hoping that by the time our generations pass away at a healthy age, gravestones will just be, those photo montage frames that people buy for their grandparents now, where you send photos to the frame and your grandparents get to see it. I'm hoping that that's what all gravestones will be, and we can just set it to screenshots.
What a beautiful message to end the podcast in. Well, thank you for listening to the Monkey Barrel Comedy Chat. So please share, review, send it to your friends, put it on your gravestone when it's time in the future. Thanks for being here. I've been George Fox. Have a great day.
There's something hiding under the ice, imitation of a sound. There's something standing behind the door. Would you like